All right. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey y'all, what's
Welcome.
going on?
Hey, we already see that y'all are in the chat. So, welcome to today's live brunch with us in celebration of 10 years of Black vegan activism. So, we're definitely going to be talking about that more with you today. But before we even get started, you know that we have to do a roll call. So, if you haven't already, in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. And yeah, we're so excited to share some delicious recipes with you today. So I'm going to be sharing a recipe for a pumpkin spice chia pudding parfait. And Ray, what are you going to be making today?
A series of drinks that are going to start as a base of some are going to be mocktails and then others are going to be cocktails, but you'll be able to get ideas for how you can mix anything in there, whether you want to slow it down or speed it up.
Nice. And then Danny, I see you have some helpers in the kitchen. What are you all going to be making today?
We do. So me and my sous chefs today we're going to be making vegan chicken and waffles.
Yum, yum. I'm excited to see that. Yes, so as always, we see folks here. We've got people tuning in from Maryland. Karen Wheeler Williams is tuning in from Vegas. We're in Baltimore and DC and around that area out here. So, yes, if you are watching, just tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. And let's get it started with just a little icebreaker as well. So, the question of today is: do you prefer eating brunch out, going out for brunch, or making brunch at home? So, what do y'all think?
I definitely like to eat brunch at home because I think that I've been to brunch in DC many times and I feel like I've spent 50, 60 plus dollars and ate potatoes. and and so by making brunch at home, I can have all the things. I can have some tofu scramble, I can have a waffle, I can have pancakes, and I can have potatoes. I can have some, vegan sausage and bacon and all the things. Like I just think that I feel like some places are not hitting the spot when it comes to vegan brunch and getting a full plate of a different variety. So I prefer brunch at home.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Danny. I'm definitely a brunch at home type of person. I like variety. My taste is always different. And like it's not that easy finding like an expensive brunch out that's like not a arm and a leg, like gonna break the bank.
Mhm.
So I can get like I'm like, well, if I spend that at home, I can have everything I want. I can even think of wanting. So I feel you on that. What about you, Ray?
Well, for me, it I guess I'm kind of with y'all because for like lunch and dinner options, I'm cool with going out. But like you guys are saying, when it comes to brunch, all the different varieties of things, like I'm a waffle girl, so usually waffles aren't going to be vegan at certain places. Their options might just be like an oatmeal or an avocado toast, which is okay. But if I want to get down with the get down when I wake up, I'm gonna do it right here.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I can say that if I do ever go out for brunch, one of my favorite places to go in the area is Silver Diner, just because they're really good about having some vegan options. They have like just egg on the menu, they have tempeh bacon, they have vegan pancakes, which are not easy to find at non vegan restaurants.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite local places. So if you have any, please share them in the chat. And anybody else have any favorites they want to share or
Girl,
a
you
good
got me over down to those blueberry pistachio pancakes.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
I've
that's
never
my
had those.
favorite, absolute favorite. I love them.
Yeah, they're really good, and they even give you vegan whipped cream on the side, so they have the whole spread over there. Yeah. hmm
That
Nice.
sounds good.
Okay, so with that said, we've done a little icebreaker. We've got people commenting. We have Zen Life watching from Texas. We have some folks tuning in from Baltimore as well. Yeah, so thanks everyone who's commenting. Our viewers are going up. So yes, we're gonna get right into the recipes, and we're gonna start off with one of Ray's drink recipes. So Ray, what are you gonna get us started with for our first drink?
I am going to do what I call a Van Apple gin fizz. So, all right, I'm going to cover. I wanted to take you a couple different places here because when you're talking about doing brunch drinks, everyone has different palates, everyone has different preferences, right? So, I wanted to do a little something for all the different types. So, this first drink is going to be a little light, little airy, has a little bit of fruit. My next drink is going to be a little heavier with more fruit, but just a little more like deeper kind of profile to it. And then my final drink is going to be like a dessert one. So make sure y'all stay tuned for this. I'm going to give y'all everything that y'all could want and need in a brunch drink. All right, so let's get to the Van Apple Gin Fizz here. Now for this is going to be one of the mocktail ones. And I decided to use what's called seed lip. Okay, so this gives like, it could give like a gin, but it also has like a heavy botanical, but it gives you just enough punch so that you'll have that depth to your drink if you're looking for something strong like a gin. Now, again, this is a mocktail. So if you want a cocktail, you can always go get your favorite gin from the store to make this. So I did say fizz, and you're probably like, what kind of fizz? It's not a carbonated fizz per se. Chickpeas. I know that some of you are familiar with the magic of chickpeas beyond just the nutrition you can get from the actual chickpea, but there's something called aquafaba. Okay, so when you open up your can of chickpeas, some people might just pour the juice down the drain. You've actually got liquid gold sitting up in that can, right? So it looks like this. And if you're not familiar with what people do with aquafaba, as you can see, color-wise, it looks a little thick, maybe a little brothy, but it's actually used very heavily. People use it for desserts. People use it as like egg binders. So it's a lot of magic in that. And of course, it's nutritious. So if you're curious, then make sure you take a look online just to see all the things that you can do with aquafaba. The way that I'm going to be using it here, a lot of drinks, some things like amaretto sours, the actual gin fizz, which I adapted this recipe to, have a foam of egg over top. So I'm using this, the aquafaba, and I actually blended it up. So again, this is what you get out of the can. I took my hand mixer, and just for a few minutes, maybe like 3 to 4 minutes, I was able to get a foam. You see that? It's nice and frothy. So keep that in mind. Again, it was definitely under 5 minutes that I used the hand blender. So it's not going to take a lot. I wouldn't recommend it doing by your hand. That's going to be a lot of work, and you need like your muscle power. Take a sip. So if you have a hand blender, I would definitely recommend that. So for this recipe, and don't forget, we are definitely going to post all these to our blog. So don't get a pen or paper or anything. Just enjoy, get inspired. So we're going to take 1 ounce of apple juice. Your favorite apple juice will do. I got this from Trader Joe's. It's 100% juice. Next, we're going to do 1/4 of lemon juice. Now, the original gin fizz recipes would call for 1/2, but the way that I do mine, I dial that lemon back a little bit because this is going to actually have a hint of apple in it. So I don't want the conflicts with that. So I dialed this down to 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. I'm going to take 2 ounces of this. Now, Seedlip has very creative varieties. And with this one, it has a hint of allspice and cardamom. So that's definitely giving you that fall vibe. So I'm going to do 2 ounces of this. And next, I'm going to put a little sweet. So there's something called simple syrup. I'm sure you've heard about that when you look at cocktail recipes. But did you know you can make simple syrup at home? And it's really simple. For this recipe, I only did a half a cup of water and then a half a cup of cane sugar. And you just put that into a pan or a pot, and then you boil it maybe a couple minutes, under 10 minutes, just to make sure that all of the sugar is dissolved. And for this, I kept my simple sugar. I kept it simple, but you can do different things with it. You can add some hibiscus leaves to it. You can add some vanilla extract to it. You can kind of make this simple syrup your own, but just make sure if you're going to add anything to it, you do it right after the boiling process has been completed. So that way it doesn't dissipate into the sweetness. All right. So again, I just have plain simple syrup that I created here, and I'm just going to do a half ounce of that. Nothing too sweet. I'm not trying to drive it across the mountain and make you have to go to the dentist immediately after brunch, because we want to do other things after brunch, like pass out, take a nap, go party. go on the streets and act a fool, whatever it is you like to do. Okay, so we have those things here. We've got our simple syrup, and then we're gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of ice to it. I'm not a fan of ice in my drinks, but if you are, you can skip this step and put it in there, but it wouldn't be the traditional drink. But you know how I say, you can make everything your own. So I'm putting just a tiny bit of ice in here just to give it chill. And because we have that citrus in there, I'm just gonna shake it up just a little bit, just a little bit. Couple minutes. Make sure you smile when you're shaking. All righty. And again, this is just to distribute the lemon juice across the drink. All right. And we're gonna pour it out. So now it's got a nice chill on there. And then we're gonna take some of this magic foam and we're gonna spoon some of it on top of the drink. So let me move this a little closer. And get into this foam, y'all. You see that? Again, it's just the liquid from the chickpeas. And it's gonna lay over here so nicely. And if you want to if you're getting inspired as like the different things that you can do with aquafaba and you want to flavor it, you can. So for this drink, I kept it simple, but depending on what you're making, you can either put like cinnamon or even vanilla extract or anything you want in here while you're hand blending it. So the flavor is going to infuse very nicely in there. All right. So let me show you what that looks like with the foam. And then I am going to take just 1 ounce of club soda. Make sure it's cold. And I'm gonna pour that into the cocktail. Oops, without spilling it. So now you've got yourself something light and fizzy. And if you want to add a little bit of razzle dazzle, I took a couple apple slices and I just roasted them a bit. I took some butter and put some cinnamon and nutmeg and just brushed it on as it was baking. I baked them on like 400 and then I took it down to about 300 just to dial it down a bit. And you can either put the apple slice in your drink on top, or you can put it on the side, whichever one. Either way, they're going to be eating. Cheers.
That looks really good, Ray. I love how like seasonal it is, but still like light and fresh. That sounds like a really delicious combo.
Thank you.
Cheers to you.
Yes, so in addition to making these recipes for yourself, as Ray mentioned, the recipes will be shared after this demo concludes in a blog post, and we'll email it out to everyone. But in addition to that, there are a few other ways that we want you to get involved with our 10-year anniversary of Black Vegan Activism. We want to hear from you. We need your voice to talk about the impact of Afro-Vegan Society's work and how you feel about the experiences that you've had engaging with this. So you'll have 2 opportunities to do that. The first is through our community testimonial project. So we have created a form so people can send in their written their written testimonials of their experiences with Afro-Vegan Society and just share their thoughts and perspectives on why having a Black vegan organization like Afro-Vegan Society is so important. But we also will be scheduling recording sessions. So if you're interested in actually filming with us a quick testimonial video that we can use potentially in different videos or other projects in the future, we would love to have you participate as well. So we've just shared the link to the form in the chat, and we will be in contact regarding availability for video recording sessions as well. But we really, really, really would love to hear from you. So whether you just want to write in your testimonial or you're interested in recording a video testimonial with us, we would absolutely love that. The next way that we want to hear from you is that we are assembling a survey that's going out next week. We're calling it the Black and Plant-Based Survey. And this is just a temperature check to, understand the climate of how Black people are feeling about veganism and plant-based eating in the year 2024 and moving forward. So there's a widely quoted study from 2016 from the Pew Research Institute that states that African Americans are the fastest growing population of vegans in the United States, right? But I haven't really seen any data like that since. And while Afro-Vegan Society isn't a huge research institution, we do have really direct contact with you, the people who matter, right? So folks who are interested in eating vegan, who are seeking vegan resources, who have been vegan for a long time, who are just going vegan. And so we've created our own survey because we want to collect data from our community and process it and share it out from our perspective. So like I said, this is a really exciting project. This survey will be distributed for quite some time, and we want to hear from everybody, whether you're vegan or not, whether you're plant curious, whether you've been vegan in the past and you've switched it up. We want to hear your perspectives about like what appeals to you about things, how you're going about eating, and just shaping your life with this knowledge and information about the benefits of plant-based eating. So the survey is going out next week, and you can access the testimonial form today. And that is what we've got going on. And so those are two exciting ways that we'll be celebrating. There'll be a lot more content and stuff coming out. But as always, as we continue our work for the community and provide all these free resources, we need support from our community to keep being able to have the platform to provide this content. And so if you have it, if you're able to, please consider making a donation to Afro-Vegan Society today, whether it's just $1, $10 or more. Everything is appreciated, and it really helps us go a long way and know that we actually have the support of the folks that we work so hard to create resources for. So, anybody else have any other thoughts they want to share in terms of just encouraging people to get involved with the 10-year celebration of AVS?
Yeah,
I wanted to share that.
Oh, go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I mean, by being involved and filling out the survey or submitting a testimonial only helps to spread the word more and be a representative of what we of the work that we're doing and the power that we're having within the community, because representation matters, as we always say. And in this space, it's no different. And I know for those that are watching, if you have transitioned already or you're thinking about it, I know it feels very comforting to see a community of people that look like you, that's eating a way that you want to eat. So by you being a part of that, you're helping be the driving force to also help others. So it's like, you climbed up here. Now this is basically like extending your arm down to help pull somebody up, because they might just need to hear your story or see your face and be encouraged to know that it's fun, it's safe, and it's cool to make the transition to a plant-based diet and vegan living.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I can't echo what my two sisters just said enough. We're here to help, and because we're here to help, it matters. It matters. Questions, your suggestions, anything that you have, please, definitely, your input is very valuable. And also, I mean, if your heart is led to, please, definitely, as Jess said, please, just make a small donation if your heart leads you to do that, so we can continue doing this great work.
Yes. So with all that said, it's time for another recipe, and I'm excited for this one. I hope you all are too. So if you want to learn how to make vegan chicken and waffles, give this video a like right now, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. And while you're giving those likes to show your excitement for this chicken and waffles recipe, we are going to give the stage to Danny. Danny, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited about this recipe. So first I'm gonna get into the waffle, show y'all how I make the waffle. Then we're gonna talk about the chicken portion. And of course it's not real chicken, y'all. So but let's get into the waffle first. So in this bowl, I'm going to add a waffle mix. Of course, you can make your own waffle mix. There's a variety of ways to make your own waffle mix at home. You could just even use like oat flour, just taking oats and blend that down and make it like that, and add a little bit of baking soda to make them fluffier. There's a lot of different flours, but If you just want to get something from the store that you know is going to be good, I just picked up Birch Benders. This brand does not come with any dairy products in it. So all you have to do is add water and then mix it together, and you've got your mix. You can use this for pancakes or waffles, whatever you like. So they have two different instructions on the back. So if you just want to make a few, it gives you instructions for that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3/4 cup of the mix. Hey, Onyx. Not right now, babes. And then I'm going to add in Sage. Not right now, baby. Come here and help me, please. Gonna add in water according to the package. Mix that together, and that's literally it. That's all it takes. Baby, come around here and help me, okay? We're gonna make the waffles. All right, so I'm just gonna mix that up. I probably should have had a whisk, but okay. All right, so I have my mini waffle maker here. We love this mini waffle maker. And once I get, when you're making waffles as well, you want the mix to be mixed well, but you don't have to worry about all the clumps being out. Just make sure it's mixed well enough. All right, so that same measuring cup that I have, I'm going to use that to pour that into the waffle maker. All right, just a little bit more. All right, so then now we're gonna close the top, just like that. It's hot, baby, okay? So we're gonna put that to the side. So that's gonna take a few minutes to cook, maybe about 7 minutes. And then, so let's get into the chicken portion of this recipe. And I use tofu for this. And so you can use whatever substitute that you prefer. Tofu works really well. So I went ahead and I got some extra firm tofu like this. This is the one I got this from Wegmans. And what I did was I didn't want to, excuse me, y'all. I didn't want to chop it to make it like perfect cubes. So I just broke it up with my hand. And hold on, Onyx. So I broke it up with my hands into, hey. Oh, look. So I broke it up into pieces, big chunks. And then I made a batter. And that batter is a mixture of cornmeal, flour, put some breadcrumbs, and then I seasoned it with garlic powder, onion powder, some paprika. I did put some nutritional yeast in there as well, and some salt, and then that was it. Yeah, and then I didn't, because it's firm tofu, I didn't press it, and I wanted some of that moisture to help the batter stick. So I didn't worry about pressing it or making sure that it was extra dry. The batter actually helped it stick. So you can fry these, but I decided, because I try to stay away from fried foods as much, so definitely feel free to deep fry them if you want in your favorite cooking oil. But I went ahead and baked these, and they're still nice and crispy. So I definitely recommend, maybe this is hot. I definitely recommend baking it, or you could air fry it, and you will still get a nice crisp on it because the cornmeal makes it crispy. You're also putting breadcrumbs in there, so that helps to really give it a nice crisp on it. Came out golden brown, and I baked it basically at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes, and it came out like that. I did have to rotate it. So, okay, babe. So let's see, that's not quite ready yet, but hopefully soon. So along with our tofu and our waffles, we're going to also plate it with some fresh berries. Sage, do you want to cut some more berries that we can put on the plate? Yes? Okay. All right. So Sage is going to help me. She has her kid safe knife here, and she's going to cut the berries that we're going to put on this plate. Okay, so when you're done, put them on this plate. Um, And so I did want to go back to talking about finding a good waffle mix. So when you are shopping for a mix, if you can't find this particular brand, make sure you do look on the back, and it will tell you the allergens that are included in this. So this one just says states that it contains wheat, but if you see that it contains milk, of course you want to move on from that, because a lot of these mixes may contain milk powder. So you just want to move on to that and keep searching for something else. But this brand I've been able to find pretty much everywhere. I got this at Sprouts, but they sell it at Whole Foods, and I'm not sure. And I got it. I think I've got it at Wegmans before too. So, and this brand also has a lot of different types of I'm gonna say flavors, but different types. They have one that's like um, packed with proteins. If you want to make protein waffles, these are great too. And then today I'm also going to be using maple syrup. I have switched from regular um, pancake syrup to maple syrup some years ago, and it's definitely a little bit better. I mean, of course, this is still a sweetener, but it's a lot better for you than using a um, pancake syrup that has a lot of other additives in it. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this and see if it's ready. Almost, almost. You gotta be patient with the waffles. Let's see. Oh, hot. Okay, we're gonna wait just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And this would be perfect if you also had, like, if we had some arranged drinks to go with this, that would be an amazing brunch. And like I said, you can use this mix to make pancakes as well. So we all love pancakes for brunch too. And then top it with your favorite berries. All right, thank you, Sage. You're doing a great job. All right, all right. I don't know if we have any
Danny,
questions. Yes.
are there any other alternatives to tofu that you could use to make the fried chicken for the vegan chicken and waffles?
Great question. Yes. So you can use mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms are great. Lion's mane is cool. Enoki mushrooms are good too. You could even use cauliflower. Cauliflower is kind of like the OG. You know, at one point cauliflower had its shine before. All done. Thank you. Yeah, before mushrooms hit the scene, it was cauliflower. So you could also use cauliflower and just cut the florets and batter it. You might need a wet batter for that, just to allow for the batter to stick more. And so I would just dredge it in some. I would make some vegan buttermilk, which is just basically plant milk with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and then you can dredge it in that, and then put it in your dry batter. So that is an option as well. And let's see, what else? What else would I use? Trying to think, what else
Well,
would
we
I
have
use?
another question about
Okay.
syrup. Would date syrup be a good option if as opposed to maple syrup or agave nectar?
Yes, I think that's great too. Date syrup is yummy. So, um, yeah, date syrup, agave. I just love the flavor of maple syrup. And but if you like date syrup and you have that available, use that over like a pancake syrup. Definitely going to be a better choice. All right, so we've got our waffle out. All right, so got a waffle. Boom. And then right on top, we're gonna put our tofu. We put about 3 pieces right on top. And then we will take our maple syrup and these lovely strawberries that Sage cooked. She kept the leaves on, but that's okay. And we're gonna just top it like that. Oh yeah, just like that. You want to see? Yep. Do you want to taste it? All right. So let's do a little quick taste test. Let the babies tell me if it's good. It's a little hot. Get a knife. All right. So, did you want to try the waffle? You want to try the tofu as well? Yes. Okay. So let's see. Here you go. Give it a try. How is it? Oh, one more. Okay, now let's try the tofu as well. Okay, you're gonna tell me what you think about this. All right, slow down, mama. When you're ready, try that, and I'm gonna take a bite as well, so y'all can get my honest review about this. I really love this mix. I feel like it makes really good pancakes and waffles. Mmm. All right, so so what I'm liking about this is, like I said, I baked this tofu and it's super crispy. So more what? More waffle. Okay. And then of course you gotta season up your batter. This one's super flavorful. Um, the sweet and savory combo. Before recently I really was a sweet and savory girl, but now I'm loving the combo of sweet and savory. So if you're into sweet and savory and you like chicken and waffles, definitely try this recipe. Um, Give it a try. Don't be afraid of the tofu. Make sure when you're buying tofu is that it's organic, non-GMO. That's most important when it comes to buying good quality tofu. So hope you all enjoyed my demo.
That looks really, really good, Danny. I want that now.
Yes. We all should have did this together in one space.
I know, right? Yeah. But everybody in the chat is loving it too. It looks really, really good. And it's so simple. Like, I feel like people hear vegan chicken and waffles and assume it's going to be like complicated, but that was super, super simple. So thank you for sharing that recipe with us and for that recommendation on that pancake and waffle mix.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. So once Ray is ready, she's coming back with another vegan mocktail drink recipe for us. So Ray, are you ready to take over again? Oh, wait a second. Oh, you were on mute. Okay, you're good now.
I'm ready and I'm back, baby. Let's get it.
All right, let's go, Ray.
Okay, so now we're moving on to something with a good amount of fruit. And when you think fruit in a drink, what do you think? Sangria. All right, so I am going to do a dark one. That's kind of my favorite. When the weather gets a little breezy, a little chilly outside. When it's summertime, I'll take it light, but give it to me dark when it gets fall and it gets a little bit chilly. All right, so this one we're also going to do mocktail style, but you know that you can always substitute different things. If you're really spicy, you can put some whiskey in your sangria or anything that kind of tickles your taste buds. You can make these things to yourself. You know what you like best. These are only suggestions. So again, I'm going to do a dark one, and this is a mocktail. Now, when you check the grocery stores, you may have seen it, you may have not, but there are a lot of different companies out now that have spirit-free drinks, whether it be spirit-free beers or spirits like we had for the first drink. But there's also spirit-free wines and champagnes. There's a whole list of things. And I think it kind of came from post-COVID, with being on lockdown. And sometimes we may have either started habits that we can't shake or went a little harder on our regular habits and we kind of want to dial down. So if that is you, there are a lot of options right in the grocery store. You don't even have to go to the liquor store to find them. But there's a lot of options to explore if you're just trying to dial down or just completely get off anything that has to do with spirits. So I'm going to show you this brand. This is one of my favorites if I want like a little wine tasting. So this is Sparkling Botanicals, and it has elderberry maki in it. It also includes carbonated water, blueberries, hibiscus, raspberries, elderberries, and grape skins. And obviously with the grape skins, that's going to give you that heavy taste that we're used to with like a dark red wine. And again, this has fizz in it, so it's not going to give you, just the plain wine without the fizz, but it's definitely a good look, and it'll also work for the sangria. Okay. Sparkling Botanicals also has a variety of different ones. They also make something that's similar to a beer. So again, anytime you have extra time, just stroll into the grocery market and take a look and see what's available. And the good thing about these varieties, they are either low in sugar or no sugar. And this brand itself has 0 sugars at all. Okay, so it's guilt-free in more ways than one. Okay, so let's get started with this sangria. So I am going to use 6 ounces of this. Now, only because we're broadcasting, honey, am I going to go ahead and just do this by the mixer. But other than that, I'm just following what the ancestor says. I'm just going to pour and pour and pour. But I'm going to be a little more uniform today because I love y'all and y'all might want to duplicate this recipe. So we're going to do 6 ounces and I'm going to pour out 6 of these. And it smells so amazing, so amazing. And what I've noticed in different grocery stores, I tend to get these from Sprouts Farmers Market. But what I've noticed is that you could buy them in like a case, but they also sell them individual. So that way you can just take like one more, you can just take a couple individual ones and give it a try. One more in here. Razzle dazzle. Okay. Okay. And next I am going to put some lime juice. Some may put lemon, but I like lime. It really brings the flavors out. So that's going to be 1/4 ounce of lime juice. Next, we're going to put in 1 ounce of apple juice. So if you notice, we're starting to build up these fruit profiles here. And this is going to make for a really rich, but really fruity sangria. Now to add a little bit of sweet, I am going to do 1/4 ounce of maple syrup. And if you want to sub for agave or date syrup, the world is yours. All right, so just 1/4 of that. Next, I am going to do cinnamon stick. Now I'm going to put the cinnamon stick in there and shake it up with everything because it gets that rich cinnamon flavor on there as opposed to just putting it in the glass and just sticking it there. I like to mix it all together to blend a little bit of that flavor on there. Okay, and we're going to take some blueberries and we are going to smash them, honey. So I've got about 4 blueberries. You can make it your own depending on the size of your glass. Cheers to the purple one. Just going to smash these up a bit. Oops. Just to get some of the juices a little bit loosened up from the berry. I'm not going to smash them to a pulp. And add those in there. Those are blackberries. Then the juice of 1 mandarin orange. Just the little tiny cuties you get in the store. Just going to add the juice of just 1. All right. Now we're going to shake it up, baby. Now we're only going to do a little bit of shake because this is carbonated again. This elderberry maki does have some carbonation. So I don't want to shake it too much because otherwise we're going to have a mess all over the kitchen. And I did not wake up today to clean up a whole bunch of stuff all over my floor. So just going to give some gentle shaking here. We're not going to put it in the air and do all the smiling and tricks like I'm trying to get hired for John Taffer's show. Shake it up a bit, shake it up a bit. And then for the rest, I'm going to go ahead and stir just to make sure we have everything mixed in well, including with that cinnamon stick that's in there. And it smells really, really good. Okay, so now that we've stirred that, we're going to go ahead and pour it into our glass. Okay. Get those berries in there. Gonna stick that in there for the razzle dazzle. And then you can throw any type of fruits that you want in there. I've got a plum here. I'm gonna throw that in there. I've got a couple grapes. Throw that in there. Of course, we had the mandarin that we just pushed out. Put the remnants in there as well. And Got a little bit of an apple. Just put the little slice on there so you can act like you're fancy. There's a sangria for you. Cheers. Oh yeah, this is the one.
Right, that looks really, really good, and it's
Very
so
good.
crazy how like, you transform the sangria into like a health tonic. Like I'm looking at everything you're putting in, I'm like, oh yes, I need to drink this for my health. That looks so good.
Yes, that way you don't feel so bad.
Yes, and the folks are loving it. Lots of compliments. People are loving it. And like we mentioned earlier, all of these recipes will be sent out to you at the conclusion of this live stream today. And also, we're so happy if you're able to catch us live, but this will be available for replay on demand once it concludes on our YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, please subscribe now. And if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and follow us if you're not already following our page. We have a Facebook support group where we share even more helpful content and resources to support you on your vegan journey. So you can join that group. And yes, those are just a few of the ways you can always get involved. But the special ways that you can get involved with Afro-Vegan Society to help us celebrate our 10-year anniversary are twofold. So we are putting together a Black and plant-based survey. We want to learn about the state of plant-based eating in the Black community. And so that survey is going to be going out via email next week, but we'll also be sharing the link on our social channels like Facebook, Instagram, and all over the place as well. So we want you to take it. We're all going to take it, but we also want to share it with anyone you know. So you don't have to be vegan to take this survey. We just want to learn more about how our community feels about plant-based eating and see if we have any new insights to offer since that survey came out in 2016 that said that Black Americans are the fastest growing group of vegans in the United States. We want to see what we can do to contribute to updating the information and knowledge we have. The other way that we would love for you to get involved is to share your testimonial of your experiences with Afro-Vegan Society's work in our community testimonial. So we have a form and we've been sharing the links to the form in the chat throughout this video, but we will also be scheduling video recording sessions for anyone who wants to share their video testimonial as well. So we would love your participation either in written or video form or both. We want to hear from you. Your voice matters, and you talking about the benefits, the experiences, or the things that you've had experiences with Afro-Vegan Society will help us and support us as we go out and seek funding and additional support so we can continue to do what we do and expand our offerings even more. So with that in mind, maybe we can take a little bit of time to reflect on some of the highlights that we've had since we started working with the Afro-Vegan Society team. So the 10-year anniversary actually marks the beginning of Better Health, Better Life, which is the parent organization under which Afro-Vegan Society exists. So our founder and executive director, Brenda Sanders, started Better Health, Better Life and was offering community-based, plant-based nutrition and education workshops throughout Baltimore. And then the next year, Afro-Vegan Society started, and since then, we played a major role in hosting the Vegan Soul Fest in Baltimore. But we've also been hosting lots and lots of digital programming, especially since 2020. So 2020 is when I joined the Afro-Vegan Society team in May 2020 when we relaunched. And for me, one of the highlights was organizing the virtual Afro-Vegan conference, just because there were so many different speakers highlighted, so many different perspectives, just talking about veganism in our community, so from so many different perspectives, whether it's sustainability, public health, medical professionals, lots of delicious demos. We were able to host so many amazing demos through the National Afro-Vegan Conference. And so I would say that that's one of my favorite pieces of programming that we've put together since we've been moving along. But yes, we have lots of new programming coming up in the future that we look forward to sharing about moving into next year. So does anyone else want to share one of their highlights from working with AVS?
Yeah, I'll go. As just mentioned, our executive director, Brenda Sanders, has been doing this work in so many different avenues. And I came to know Brenda when I saw a program that was here in Baltimore that gave information about transitioning and helping to pursue a healthier lifestyle as far as diet is concerned. And so I started following her there, just going to the information sessions, watching her cooking demos. And then she started having community potlucks at a nonprofit that she co-founded. So I would go there, check out the things, look at the recipes, and like I felt empowered, like I can do this, I can do this. So I jumped into that, and then came along the Vegan Soul Fest. I saw it coming, and the first year I wanted to get involved, right? Because I was kind of familiar with the vegan community, and I was able to see that, you know, vegans aren't so stuck up or snobby or judgmental as they're portrayed. So I went ahead and I volunteered for the first Vegan Soul Fest. It was an amazing event. Then I volunteered for the second one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You know, it was just an amazing thing. And having worked with Brenda and the co-founder over the years with volunteering for the events, I just felt like it was kind of like being home, right? It was something that I could stand for, not only just because it's a healthier lifestyle, but also because it's centered around things for our people, right? So we're just giving back, we're giving resources. Most importantly, we're giving information, because there's a lot of disinformation or misinformation out there, but also a lot of the facts about the quality or the lack of quality resources for our people to have in their neighborhoods and their communities. It's astounding, and that information is often hidden. You have to do deep research to find type like articles or anything that show like how bad it is for us. And that's another reason why we're out here trying to thrive and do these things for the people, to show the resources, to get the information. So yeah, that's why I wanted to be a part of it. So I would say the highlight has been the Vegan Soul Fest. When I joined this organization here for Afro-Vegan Society in the fall of 2021, I already had become familiar with the purpose. I had become familiar with Brenda's work. And it was finally, out of all the work history that I've had, it was an organization that I can stand behind because I know the mission. And all of my beautiful colleagues were all dedicated to getting information out there and helping our people and providing the resources so that we can all just thrive and survive. How about that? So yeah, that's the highlights of me being here and doing this work.
For me, the highlight, well, I started with Afro-Vegan Society about 9 months ago. And so we've been working in a virtual space for a while now. And that's what I came into 9 months ago. But the highlight for me was actually when we hosted, or we were a part of a event this past August. And it was hosted in Baltimore, at Thrive Baltimore. And I think what was the highlight about that was we are making an impact virtually, and I love that you all are here and watching virtually from the comfort of your home. But there's something that's very magnifying, electric about being in person and in community, and being able to come and actually like eat vegan food, try different options that are out there, because it really gives you that full experience to see like if it is something that you want to do, because you can actually taste the flavors of what we're talking about virtually. So and then of course like seeing Brenda on stage and her speaking and the cooking demos, and then also the reactions of the people that came in the door not knowing a thing about plant-based eating, being very green to it, and leaving out really thinking and considering that they could sustain this lifestyle for themselves. So that plant-based food tasting in August was a highlight for me to be a part of and to witness. And so you know, hopefully we'll have more events like that in the future, in Baltimore and nationwide, so that you all that are watching can come and experience the Afro-Vegan Society vibe in person.
Wonderful. Well, yes, there's so much to look back and be proud of, and there's so much to look forward to. And a big part of that is because of all of you who tune in to our virtual events and support us, support our work online, and show up in person in community with us as well. Community is everything. It is at the core of what we do. It's at the core of how we thrive. And so we just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with us. And we're looking forward to stepping forward into the future and bringing even more people along. So with that said, I'm going to get into my recipe now. So I'm going to take over the screen here, and I'm going to be showing you all how to make a delicious, nutritious, very simple pumpkin spice parfait. chia pudding parfait. So chia pudding is one of those recipes that is super duper simple, and it's very versatile. In and of itself, is kind of plain. It's just two ingredients, chia seed and then your plant milk of choice. But I wanted to make it a little bit more seasonal and show you how to add some extra flavor in, and give you some suggestions on how to enjoy it. So we're going to start off here. I have my mixing bowl, and I have 1/4 cup of chia seeds. So chia seeds are a wonderful superfood. They are tiny, but they're packed with lots of antioxidants and omega-3, 6, 9s, all those things that you need for brain health. And they're also a really good source of plant-based protein. So I added my chia seeds to the bowl. So this was 1/4 cup. And then I'm adding in 1 cup of unsweetened plant milk. Now you can use sweetened if you prefer. You can use soy milk, coconut milk, oat milk, whatever you like, but I'm using almond milk today. So I just pour that into my bowl, and then we are just going to mix this together. And ideally, you want to let this sit for at least 30 minutes just so it can thicken up. We won't be letting it sit that long today, but the nice thing is, even if you assemble this without letting the chia seeds and the chia pudding fully thicken up before you start assembling the parfait, like if you want to do a meal prep, you can assemble these parfaits and set them in your fridge, and then whenever you're ready to eat them, they'll be ready to go. So it's like a really great breakfast treat, but it's also sweet enough that you could have it for like a snack or even a dessert if you're in the mood for that as well. So here we go. Let me know in the comments if you've had chia pudding before and if you like it. The first time I had it, the texture threw me off. I'm not going to lie. But I found that you need the right ratio of chia seeds and almond milk to get it to have that nice consistency so that it's not too runny, but it's not too thick. And also, like, what you pair it with matters a lot. So the first time I had it, it was just very, very simple, and it was more chia pudding than anything else. And I like a bit of a more even balance between the other components. I like to have a little bit of crunch. I like something sweet and fruity, or even something like this pumpkin spice puree that we're going to make, but just a different combination of flavors and textures I found makes it a lot more enjoyable. And then when you do get to a space where you like how it's prepared, it's a lot more filling and satisfying. And once again, it's super packed with nutrients as well. So we've got our chia pudding here. We're going to let this sit aside and start to thicken up a bit. And now we're going to put together our pumpkin spice puree. So this is just 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. I think it was organic, but it honestly doesn't matter. But we're going into October. Obviously, pumpkin is seasonal like most produce. And this is going to be on sale soon. So I usually stock up on pumpkin puree in the fall just because it's less expensive. I can find it for like $1, $1.50 a can, depending on if I hit the grocery store at the right time, versus like almost $3 a can if you buy it off season. So yes, we have our pumpkin puree here, and we are going to go ahead and put this pumpkin spice puree together. So all we need really is 2 ingredients. We have some pumpkin pie spice. I made this at home just because I didn't have actual pumpkin pie spice mix at home, but I had all the ingredients for it. So this is a combination of cinnamon, ginger, we got some black pepper, some nutmeg, and I think there's also some clove in here. And then I added just a little bit of turmeric just to add a little bit more superfood spices in there. Not a lot, but just enough to add a little bit of oomph. And so this is my pumpkin pie spice here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take 1.5 teaspoons of this pumpkin pie spice and add it to the pumpkin puree. You can add more, you can add less. I want to be able to take the spice, taste the spice, but I don't want it to take over everything. So I'm going to start with 1.5 teaspoons. And then we're going to go in with our vegan sweetener of choice. So I today am using 1/3 cup of coconut sugar. So you could use maple syrup, you could use agave nectar, you could even use date syrup like I heard a lot of people talking about today. But coconut sugar is what I have on hand, and I really love it because it has kind of like a toasty, almost nutty flavor. So it adds a really nice depth of flavor to the pumpkin spice puree, and it makes it have a little bit more complex flavor even though it's only 3 ingredients. So I'm just adding that in. And then literally all we have to do now is just mix it together until it's evenly combined. All right. And I could have used a bigger mixing bowl for this, certainly, but I didn't, and we're going to make it work. And what's nice is when you add sugar, it kind of loosens up the texture of whatever you're mixing something into. So the pumpkin puree is pretty thick, but as the coconut sugar gets incorporated, the texture will start to loosen up a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to take my time folding this in. You could also add a splash of vanilla extract or a little bit of almond extract or even a dash of salt, just if you want to add a little bit more complexity to the flavor of what we got going on here. But I just want to just show you my 3-ingredient version, just so you have some options. When we're eating seasonal flavors like this too, there are lots of ways that you can incorporate them into your food. So you could take this simple pumpkin spice puree recipe and add it to your oatmeal, or if you like quinoa porridge or something like that, like with your warm breakfast, you could make overnight oats and use some of this in there to add a little bit of extra spice. You could also swap out pumpkin for baked sweet potato and use sweet potato puree instead of pumpkin if you just don't like pumpkin at all, but you still want to experience some of these flavors and textures together. So we have got our pumpkin spice puree all mixed up, and you see it kind of went from that bright orange color to more of a deeper, richer color. Oh, and I see someone also mentioned date sugar, another delicious option for sweetening this. But yeah, so it has a nice deep, rich color now. So now what we're going to do is we want to have some complexity of flavor here. And so we want to flavor this chia pudding just a little bit. So we're going to add in about half of this pumpkin spice puree into the chia pudding mixture. Okay. So we're going to add that in, and then we're just going to mix that up. Let me keep that in view for you all. All right, so now we're just going to mix this together. This is going to thicken it up a little bit more, but now you get multiple layers of depth. So that pumpkin flavor is infused in the chia pudding itself, but it's also going to shine on its own as a layer in the pumpkin spice chia pudding parfait. Okay. So getting that nice and incorporated, and you can already see, I'm going to show you in just a second how much of the liquid that these chia seeds have absorbed from that almond milk that I had in the first place. Okay. All right, that's looking really good. All right, so now this is what the pumpkin spice chia pudding is looking like. Okay. So with that said, it's just that easy. Now it's time to assemble our parfait, right? So we've got 2 layers here. We've got the chia pudding parfait, the chia pudding pumpkin spice. Okay, boom. Then we've got the pumpkin spice puree. But then we've also got some nice pumpkin granola. Now you can make your own granola, but I found a vegan granola at the grocery store, and it had pumpkin seeds in it and pumpkin spice. So I thought that was a perfect way to incorporate this in. But you can certainly make your own granola at home and add some pumpkin pie spice and pumpkin seeds and all those things just to make it that much more whole, that much less processed. And then we have here some pumpkin seeds. So I just wanted to go all out with the pumpkin. And also pumpkin seeds are an excellent source of plant-based protein again. So this is really, really nutritious, really, really packed in with the flavor. So we're just going to start assembling this. So I have my little bowl here. I'm going to add a couple scoops of this to the base. Okay. We got our first layer. Then we're going to go in with our pumpkin puree. Okay. Put that in. Nice layer of the pumpkin on top. Then we're going to add in some of our granola. Nice layer of that. All right. So first round of layering is done. And then we're going to just repeat that process again. So yes, going to add in 2 scoops of that chia pudding here. Spread it out in a nice even layer. Okay. Nice like that. Then we're going to add some of this pumpkin puree. Again, just a nice little dollop of that. All right. And then we're going to go in again with some more granola. just to top it off, add a little bit more crunch texture, almost like a garnish. And then we're going to go in with some of these pumpkin seeds. Okay, and it smells like pumpkin pie in my house. Here we go. Here is our pumpkin spice chia pudding parfait. This is an amazing breakfast. It's so good. You can eat it for dessert. You can meal prep it. You can do all types of things with it. Really simple, really delicious, super seasonal. So we're getting into the fall season, and this will be a great meal for you to enjoy. The pumpkin is a great source of vitamin A and antioxidants. Like, it's just nutrient rich all around. And that's one of the beautiful things about eating plant-based is you can make food and focus on flavor and texture, but each component is boosting up the nutrition that you're getting with every bite. And so I love that about plant-based cooking and getting creative with making recipes, because you feel good about what you're eating. It's definitely feel good comfort food, right? So with that said, here we go. I'm going to give it a quick little taste test. So delicious. Really, really good. I love those textures, like I said, but that coconut sugar is amazing. Like, it almost has a bit of a smoky flavor that it adds to the pumpkin puree. So it really does taste like you baked it off and cooked it. Like, so good. So enough talking. You'll get this recipe on our blog and email blast very soon. But I hope that this looks appealing to you. And yeah, another recipe that you can add to your spread for your vegan brunch. So now I'm going to bring the team back together. Hey, everyone.
That looked amazing.
Yeah, I don't believe that it's good, Jess. You might have to run it down to my house so that I can really see how good it is. Yeah.
What I really liked was, like, I mean, I would have never thought to put the pumpkin seeds on there. So I love that you added that component. So it's not only layered with like texture, you got the crunch, you got the creaminess of the chia pudding, the sweetness of the pumpkin, and you got some maple syrup in there. And did you say maple syrup or date sugar?
I use coconut sugar, but all of those.
Coconut sugar, yes. Mm-hmm. You got coconut, you sweetened it up, and you got crunch from the pumpkin seeds, and then it's so healthy for you. This is like such a perfect way to start off the day.
Yes. So, with that said, I know Ray has one more drink recipe for us, but before we get into that, I think it'll be fun to do a quick little round of this or that vegan brunch edition, where we're going to share our preferences, but we also want y'all to participate in the chat, okay? So I have a few categories, and we're just going to do a quick round of this or that, okay? So the first one for vegan brunch, this or that, is vegan bacon or vegan sausage.
Okay, it's kind of hard. That kind of depends. For me, it's like it depends on the brand of vegan bacon. But if it's good vegan bacon, I want the vegan bacon.
For me, I guess it depends too. Like, if it's a store-bought, I love a flat patty because I can like make a sandwich or just slice it up. But if I'm gonna do it myself, then maybe I'll take bacon. I can make some tempeh bacon and season it to my heart's desire and put it alongside my waffles or what have you. So that's a little bit of it.
I'm the same. If I'm going store-bought, I'm going vegan sausage. But if I'm doing homemade, I'm definitely going vegan bacon for sure. And let's see how our audience voted. So Chuck D says vegan bacon. Boyd says sausage probably. Nagatino says the vegan bacon. And then Zen Life said Morningstar sausage. So we got a good split. All good choices. Okay. So the next round kind of ties into Danny's recipe. Vegan pancakes or vegan waffles? Or wait. Or let's make it difficult. Or vegan French toast?
French toast.
Waffles all day.
That's my favorite.
I'm honestly going to say French toast. Like, more often it's going to be waffles because they're easier. But French toast, I love French toast. Oh my God.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, pancakes. Bye. Y'all didn't even get it. Y'all didn't,
Right.
Yeah.
no. Okay. Chuck says pancakes. There's a vote for pancakes. Pancakes are not alone. But Fruity Q says French toast. I agree. Oh, I just something about the nutmeg in the batter and like the crispness, but the moistness. French toast. Let's not. But yeah, I love French toast. Okay. For the next one, let's go sweet or savory for brunch. Now,
Savory.
you can't say both. If you had
I'll
to
pick
choose,
savory. I'm
Yeah,
gonna pick
savory.
savory because I want like vegan eggs, I want vegan sausage and pancakes. Well, I guess that would be sweet, but I'm more so on the savory side. I could do a vegan hash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Too much
yeah,
sweet just leaves my appetite.
yeah, I would say, we've got a vote for sweet and a vote for savory. I would say for brunch, savory, because I want like the hash, the sweet potato hash. I want the vegan omelet or like the tofu scramble or whatever. Now, on a day to day, if I'm eating breakfast, it's going to be a smoothie or a smoothie bowl or fruit or something like that. So maybe that's probably why I want savory more as well, just because it's
Yeah.
like it's something different, it's something special. It takes a little bit more effort. So yeah, I feel y'all on that. Um, okay, let's do one more. Okay, vegan biscuits or vegan cornbread?
Oh no.
Mm. Biscuits. Biscuits for sure.
Biscuits. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to take the easy way out and say it depends on the dish, but then also too I can go like it depends on the season. I think if we're talking fall and winter, it's gonna be cornbread all day. But other than that, I'll take a biscuit. Yeah.
We got some cornbread votes. We got biscuit votes. We got another cornbread vote. I think I'm going to break the tie with cornbread just because I'm gluten free. And so the biscuit thing, like I've made some good vegan biscuits, but it's hard to get the texture right with gluten free, I think. But I'm able to have some really good vegan gluten free cornbread. So I think that's why I just love cornbread. And I like sweet cornbread. Some people are like purists; they like the southern, like less sweet. I want my cornbread to taste like cake.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes, so we got a few more votes. We've got cornbread. Lori Kim says, I feel like it's a hard choice. I'm with the cornbread, but I love a good biscuit. Yeah, it's all that's the whole point of this or that, to put you in a hard position where you gotta choose. So I think we all made some delicious choices. What you like is the best choice, right?
I know that's right.
Yeah, so that concludes that little quick rapid fire round of this or that. And I think to wrap up the recipes for today, Ray has one more delicious vegan cocktail or mocktail for us. Is that right, Ray?
You're right. I'm gonna close this baby out, y'all. So
All right.
again, we went through our array of different drinks. We had our sangria, we had our light apple fizz, and we're gonna close this out with what does every other good meal come with at the end? Dessert. So I'm just gonna make some dessert shooters. Now this can be also transformed into a martini. I actually, when I configured this recipe some years ago, I used to call it my choc-tini because I would definitely put it into like a martini glass and I would like decorate it all pretty. But I figured since we're doing brunch, let's just close it out with something small because you got pigged out on everything else. You had your breakfast food, whether you had your waffles or you had your chia pudding. So let's just give it all so you can go out into the world and not be bogged down, or you won't feel guilty about all the deliciousness that you had for your brunch. So I narrowed this down, or I kind of sized my choc-tini down to tiny choc-tinis or teeny choc-tinis. So it's going to be really simple. It's going to be really delicious, really sweet. But again, it's going to be really simple so you can follow along and make these at home. Alrighty. Now for these, I used the choc comes from chocolate chips. I got these from Trader Joe's, but you can find them. You can find the dark chocolate that, again, is not milk chocolate, it's dark chocolate. Dark chocolate's healthier for you anyway. You can get these in most stores, not necessarily this brand. Again, this is Trader Joe's, but for most stores, you can find yourself a dark chocolate one. So these are semi-sweet. Okay, again, I'm not trying to leave out the house and get in a dentist chair. So these are semi-sweet, and I melted some of these into I melted them in a pot. And when I melt my chocolate, I like to use just a dash of coconut oil in there because it makes it a lot smoother. And as you're warming it up, you make sure you keep stirring. Even after you add the coconut oil, just keep stirring. And it helps it to get smooth without all the lumps, especially because, consider that you're melting something from a solid form. So it can be like a little thick, a little clumpy. So the coconut oil helps to smooth that out. And it also enhances the flavor of it. Okay, so for these mini choctinis, let's get it started. This is going to be the actual alcohol cocktail of this. Again, I'm trying to send y'all into the world feeling good, feeling fine, but just in the mini version, so you're not too guilty. Now for this is a Black-owned vodka brand. It's called Black Leaf. I found it in a liquor store that's near me. It's hard to find. One thing that you notice about Black-owned brands, and there are many, some of them, especially if they're smaller companies, you'll usually find closer to wherever they originated from. So just do the research. I mean, there's many ways that you can still support Black-owned when it comes to your spirit choices. You can do a research, look them up. There's things like brown sugar bourbon that Jamie Foxx acquired. Of course, we know about Uncle Nearest. There is a new whiskey I discovered. It's called Abiola. And it has like this nice floral hibiscus type of flow to the whiskey. So yeah, just do your research. Check out the different brands, whether it's your whiskey choice, whether it's your vodka choice, whether it's a gin choice. I did find a Black-owned gin brand. Just do your research, and you're sure to luck up with something in your local liquor store, so that way you can support Black. But again, for these teeny choctinis, we're going to be using Black Leaf vodka. It's organic. And yeah, let's get started. So for this, we're going to do 1 ounce of the vodka. And if you wanted to make this spirit-free, remember there's a variety of different blends that are spirit-free spirits that you can find. The Seedlit brand that I used in my first cocktail, they have different varieties, and they do have one that's more like a vodka. And also, speaking of, if you're a whiskey drinker, I did find a few brands. One of them was called Ritual, and yeah, so that's a good one. It wasn't brunch appropriate, but it's very good. So again, when you find some time, go explore for yourself and you'll be amazed. All right, moving on. For this, I am going to use 6 ounces of oat milk. I like the Milk brand because it doesn't have like a lot of extra additives like the thickeners, like the gums. So it's pretty basic. So I'm going to use 6 ounces of oat milk. And it's also pretty muted. It's a pretty muted taste too. Not necessarily as much as the almond milk, but this is pretty muted. So we got 6 ounces of that. Okay. Now, if you remember, I had my simple syrup creation over here. During the break, I went ahead and added some vanilla extract to it. So my simple sugar has become a vanilla simple syrup. So I am going to add just a 1/4 ounce of that. And it smells really good. It's a nice amber color. I call this trouble. So we're going to add a 1/4 ounce of that. And then we're going to also add a 1/4 ounce of maple syrup. So together you're looking at a 1/2 ounce of the sweeteners. And I'll give you a little bit of a cheat code. It's got a little bit of sweet. We've got the chocolate. That's a semi-sweet dark chocolate. I'm going to add a pinch of sea salt. Just a pinch. But that's going to give you that nice flavor combination. And if you really want to be jazzy about it, you can also add some caramel. But that's going to take it to the sweet side. Really sweet side. But yeah, I like to put a pinch of sea salt in here because it helps to balance it out for me. All right, so that's going to be simple enough. We're going to shake this up a bit. Not too much. just enough to make sure that the sugars are getting to meet the milk and the vodka, making a little happy family in here. And because my milk was extra cold, I'm not going to put any type of ice in here because I like it chilled. And again, these are shooters, so we're going to go without that. And even if you were doing your martini, if you like your martinis extra cold, of course, you can put some ice cold water in the glass while you're making up your cocktail and then pour it in there. Okay. So now we're ready to pour. However, I want to add just a little bit of razzle dazzle to these teeny choctinis. So I melted the chocolate, and I am going to take some of this chocolate and just drizzle it inside the glasses. Now, if you imagine if we had the martini glass, we can have it all over, but we're just going to do just a few drops here and there. So that way, once you pour it into the glasses, once you pour the mix into the glasses, it'll have a little bit of chocolate float on there. You don't have to be fancy. I know I won't, honey. I'm just gonna put this in here and tear it down. But yeah, so I'm gonna put a little bit of this. And again, the cheat code for getting your chocolate so smooth is just to add the coconut oil when you're melting your chocolate chips or your chocolate chunks. Okay. Drizzle, 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 drizzle. All right. So a little bit of drizzles here. Pretty simple. These are shooters. All right, now we're ready to pour. And there you have it. One for you, one for me, and mind your business about the 3. Cheers. Yeah.
Another delicious vegan drink, Ray. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes. This has been so much fun today. I feel like you have so many new recipes to incorporate in your vegan brunch, whether you're hosting or just cooking for yourself at home. We hope you enjoyed them. And we definitely enjoyed joining you this Saturday afternoon for some brunch inspo and just to connect and fellowship online as we celebrate 10 years of Afro-Vegan Society doing this activism in the community. So just one more reminder, we want to hear from you. We want you to get involved. So we have a Black and plant-based survey coming out next week that is just to take the temperature and learn more about the state of plant-based eating in the Black community. This recipe is for vegans. Recipe is for vegetarians, people who used to be vegan, people who aren't vegan yet. We want this survey shared far and wide. So we will be pushing it out via email on online channels. And we hope that you will give your feedback and share it around as much as you can once it's released. And then also we want to hear your experiences. We want your testimonials. So we have a community testimonial form that we've created. And please just take a few minutes. There aren't a lot of questions, but it's just a space for you to share about your experiences with that Black Afro-Vegan Society and to talk a little bit about why Black vegan organizations like ours are vital for our community, for our growth. So we appreciate you taking the time in advance to fill that out. And if you're interested in scheduling a video recording session, we will be doing recording sessions all through the end of the year, starting next week, October. So yeah, please give your feedback. Let us know if you want to do a recording session with us, and we will totally be in touch because we want to hear all of your collective stories as well. So that, I think, concludes all I have for the live. Any final thoughts you want to share, Danny and Ray?
Yeah, I just want to encourage everyone to head over to all of our socials and tap in with us there because we are sharing things that will help you along your journey, make it more fun and accessible, and just giving you tips along the way to really support you. Look out for the recipes. If you do make any of the recipes, please share it on your socials and tag us and let your friends know that you are making Afro-Vegan Society recipes and loving them.
Yeah, and again, thank you for sharing your time with us today. If you haven't already, please make sure you shoot on over to our website. We have plenty of guides and resources there. Also on our socials, we have Danny's done our vegan value meal series, which shows you great, delicious meals to put together on a budget. Okay, you don't have to break your pockets in order to eat nutritious and delicious. So make sure you take a look at that. And again, if you're compelled to, if your heart follows that you love our resources and you understand and really support our work and the importance of what we do in the community, even if it's $1, $2, what have you, if you can, we'd really appreciate a donation. But thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you all next time. Bye.
See y'all.
Bye.